Stacey, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me, Rich.
You're up to all kinds of interesting stuff, and I don't even know where the word pickleball came from, but apparently it's a big deal in the world. It is catching fire, I guess, everywhere, and now it's made its way to Nosara, and you're at the forefront of this thing. So go ahead and tell us what you're up to, or tell us what pickleball is, and then tell us what you're up to, and give us the advertisement so somebody interested in getting involved knows how to do it.
Okay, so pickleball started in Bainbridge Island in Seattle, Washington, as a rendition of somewhat like between all cross of all this: tennis, ping pong, badminton, any kind of racket sport, and it's like a mini, almost like a mini tennis. So, but it's used. We use a wiffle ball, which is like this, and it's easy. It's fun for all ages. So that's why it's hit off in the world. It's like one of the fastest growing sports right now, and that's what pickleball is.
So it's like a lazy person's tennis.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, the reason I wouldn't say lazy is because if you want to do singles, you're still running a lot and you're still doing, and let's go with non-physical, because it's a game of sort of strategy and deceit too, so yeah, but you could say that.
I asked one of my tennis friends about it, and he got mad.
I've got some tennis players now from Nosara that have come with us, a bunch of them. But yeah, there is, like with shortboarding and longboarding, or stand up and or skiing and snowboarding. There's a little, some might not cross the line.
It makes sense. It's not that physical, so it gives access to everyone, and people who are good at a sport don't like it when everyone have access. Like even guiones, as soft as that wave is, for example, there's still a long paddle out. Like there's a barrier to entry, and with pickleball, anyone can just walk out there. So let's jump into that. If someone's visiting Nosara, how do they get involved in pickleball? Like, talk us through it.
They actually can contact me. People have, I'm the one who runs all three of the courts. So we have a court in Esperanza, a court in Pelada, and a court in downtown Nosara.
Tell us how people can learn more about pickleball if they want to get involved. How do they find out how much it costs, where it's at, all that good stuff?
Okay, so we have a club. It's called the Guanacaste Pickleball Club of Nosara, and that's how you'll find us on social media. That is Guanacaste Pickleball Club. You can Google that or go onto Instagram, Facebook.
Gotcha. And then where are the clubs located at?
We are a club that goes to all the three clubs. So the first club is Salon Comunal. There's one in downtown Nosara. There's one in Pelada and one in Esperanza in Nosara.
Nice. All right. So Nosara Town, Pelada, and Esperanza. So you've got the triumvirate. You've got it all going on.
Yes.
May I ask how much pickleball costs and how accessible is it? Just walk us through that, please.
So it's free for locals, up through $60 to $80, depending on which court we're at and what time you come, if it's a group or private.
That makes sense. So from free to under $100, it just depends on the group and the size and the location, all that stuff.
Yes.
Nice. So it seems like people are really enjoying about it. I'm even hearing about offices having get-togethers. Like my day job, the people go out and have fun. And I think maybe they're mad at each other during the day at work, and then they go play pickleball, and there's some sort of release. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Actually, somebody just said that the other day. She says, I don't need my anger management anymore.
That's actually fantastic. I think we all could use that. I do love hitting things too. So pickleball is is there any other big thing you want to get out there to people? Like who would not want to play it? Like, who's it bad for?
I would say the only limitations, because I'm finding sometimes I'm 6 hours on the court, is that if you have limitations with your knees, or that's pretty much it. I think that if you can move around, if you can walk, you can do it.
It seems like even a wheelchair in a way could do, because the courts are small.
Yes.
That's actually not a bad idea. Some sort of therapy.
That would be great. Yes, for sure. I might be heading in that direction, by the way, but my knees are getting shot from everything in my life. But
hey, that's pretty good though. You're setting up something to do for the next part of your life. That's smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Anything else about pickleball that you want to get out there? It sounds like social media. They found you, and it's Guanacaste Pickleball Club. That's the name. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. And there's 3 courts, and the prices vary from free for locals all the way up to 60 or $80 if it's a group on a big court.
Yes.
Is that pretty much it?
Yes. I mean, you asked, was there anything else to know? The only other thing to know is it can be very social, or we can make it competitive for people. So people like the social aspect of it here in Nosara. They meet new friends, and we get together, and it's extremely welcoming and inviting.
Right. So it's not like an intense tennis court with people barking stuff all fired up, or sometimes.
I wouldn't know. I haven't played tennis since I was in my 20s.
All right, so let's bounce to you for a second. Ask you a couple questions while I have you here. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. So I'd like to know uh your Nosara likes and dislikes, and we probably know most of the likes. And then I'd like to know what your dislikes are. Like, what do you wrestle with? So what's something that's challenging that someone listening to this might be interested in knowing about?
For me, I've been here 15 years, and this is my home. I am here. I might leave for weeks at a time, but I don't live in any other area. I personally, I do love Nosara itself for the restaurants. The restaurants here have such a diversity now that they didn't have before, and it's a place where a lot of us go out and we socialize as well, and we meet, and we'll go to breakfast, or we'll go to eat. So I like that. I like my network of people here, and of course the waves.
All right, so you like the social scene, you like the restaurants and the camaraderie that comes along with that. While we're on the subject, because that was my next question, is what are your 3 favorite restaurants and what do you like to get there? Let's go ahead and hit
Yeah.
that while you're on the topic.
Yeah, there's so many of them, but I mean, if I was a go-to, like maybe for more of a fine dining type of thing, I did love Sendero. Sendero's really nice in Guiones. Um, a go-to for me for 15 years ago is La Luna. It's beachfront. I love to be beachfront. Ooh, speaking of beachfront, I will have to put in Olga's there, because you know me, I'm from Pelada. And I'll have to go with Olga's. So that's 3 for now. I could go on and on, but
Hey, let's talk about Olga's for a second, because we
Mhm.
hear the other ones, but Olga's is having a nice resurgence, and the vibe around there is feeling much better. I mean, tell me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong, but it feels really nice, and they're giving it a go. It seems like the quality's up, the atmosphere's up,
yeah,
and although maybe not for everybody all the time, as far as every socioeconomic demographic, for the locals and the people who actually want to feel like you're there, it's really nice to be able to sit at Olga's and just enjoy it.
yeah. It really is. I mean, if you haven't been to Olga's, definitely go. If you want me to
Yeah.
go with, let me know. Yeah,
I don't want it to be a secret. They need to make it and survive. There's people that are trying to make a living. Like Get Hooked is there. You have Secret Spot
yeah,
that's there. You have Chivo, La Bodega. Just go down the list.
yeah.
The El Pepperoni setup. They need to make a living.
Ooh,
I want people to get over there and enjoy it. So I'm done with my
yeah.
rich rant. Let's get back to your episode. So what were you about to say? You thought of something else?
Yeah, no. I was just saying Pulpo is going in on that street soon. They were over in North Guiones. Now they'll be on that street in Pelada.
But you can get surf lessons. You can do quad rentals. Get Hooked is sitting right there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm rooting for the locals that make it. Like that's important. Like we need to support them. Like I
Yes.
don't like that idea of being a secret. And also a lot of the people who haven't been enjoying the beauty of Pilata, like it's off the charts. The walkways right now to connect Guiones and Pilata are fantastic. They're better than they've ever been. Shout out to NCAA, shout out to everyone's doing it. I'm not saying late at night go wandering and stomping around. Like, that's not what I'm suggesting. I'm just saying get over to Pilata and enjoy it. Support those folks. They need to make it too. Anyway, you get my point. Let's move on. What do you dislike about Nosara? Like, what's most challenging to you?
Well, I will say that being here 15 years ago, when there was no pavement, things moved at a slower pace. I liked that. I've adjusted. It took me a while, probably through the last 3 years. I've finally accepted it, but it was hard for us to get used to the fast pace of now. We have asphalt and like a highway going through. That's a downfall for
Yeah.
me. but I'm adjusting to it. I feel like it's the difference between a sleepy town and now we're a little city a little bit.
Hmm. I never Yeah, the sleepy town. I never thought city. That makes sense though. I do think we have an interstate on that stretch of highway from say the Bamba as you get to
Yeah.
Guiones, like about to the D section to where you get remember the old washboard hill where you had to go so
Yeah.
crazy slow up?
Oh, I've had people in accidents there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we all have. I've been in some
Yep.
myself. One time I had an entire tire fall off and just land on the
Oh,
ground. Anyway,
I think about
um,
it almost every time when I go by there.
so my biggest pet peeve on that interstate row is as soon as people hit the straightaway in front of L section where the old 5 points kind of used to be, they're going so fast that
Yeah.
turning out there is crazy. And then every time you pull on, someone's instantly like not even a meter behind you, like following that close. And it used to be just
Yeah.
bumpy craziness with dust everywhere you couldn't see. Now it's whizzing and
Yeah.
just be careful at that intersection. I that's our freeway, as I call
I
it.
know. And I'm a Boston driver. So when it first started happening and we were getting more and more people and we were getting faster roads, I was like, no problem. I wasn't so worried. But now I do. I'm overly cautious. I'm
Yeah, I'm
worried to
more
even
scared
take a
now.
left somewhere.
I'm more scared now because they're going faster.
Yes.
And
Yes.
again, if you just hit the brakes to dodge a bump or to miss something and someone's that far behind you, like it's
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, hey, that's a good dislike. I dislike that.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're on that subject, let me rant about that for a moment. My
Sure.
least favorite intersections are Organico. People come into town, they're hauling butt. There's little kids walking past Organico. My kids grew up here, and just it's
Yeah.
terrifying when people just go there. So that guy who holds the stop sign up and does things,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that guy's saving lives. And thanks to Turi and
Yay.
people for putting that there.
Yes.
In front of El Local and Hotel Guiones, that turn,
That's a bad one.
not a big fan. We need to get a go light there, a stop light there, whatever you want to say, or something to temper it. And then also that freeway where people are just going that fast. Those
Oh,
off the top of my head,
yeah.
those are my three biggest dislike spots driving
Yeah.
wise. I get a little nervous at each one of those. Is there anything else you'd like to get out there while you have this platform and people can hear your voice?
No, only that don't, like I'm here and if people want to reach out to me, if they have questions about anything Nosara, but also don't be shy to come try pickleball. That's pretty much it. Don't be shy. And I can get you there. I'm a good
Nice.
teacher. I'm certified.
But back to surfing. Are you surfing? Give us a quick update on that.
Oh wow, like surfing was my life, just so you know. It still is, but it's pickleball has taken, a lot of my time. I started stand-up paddle surfing in when I was 42, and I became a competitor right away. Like I was competing in the Northeast. I was the first ever to win they opened a division for me because they didn't have the Eastern Surfing Association did not have stand-up paddle surf. And so the president told me to go into the competition. I'm like, it's not the same as stand up is not the same as longboarding. So he opened a division for me. I won against all men, and then they opened a women's division the next year, and then I went on to like regionals, and I qualified for the Pan Am Games. I was in the Costa Rica Nationals. I came in second in Santa Teresa. So it was my life. Like I was competing in Mexico against like the best girls in the world, and I got in an accident, as you might know, and that kind of set me back. I broke 7 ribs, and right now I do longboard surfing in the whitewater. So like I paddle out on my sup surf, but I stay in the whitewater on a longboard, and my ribs like hurt. So I'm trying to get back on the horse, a little bit, but I go out almost every week. I go out, but I go out in the whitewater on my longboard. I go on my sup surf in front of Olga's, like in Pelada.
Nice. Well, thank God for pickleball.
Yeah. But I want to get back the way I was. I want a little bit, not a lot, but I mean, I want to get back to where that's a hard paddle out. It's a hard paddle out to Guiones for me. So I do the point breaks. I used to live in Ostianal, and I did Ostianal. That was the easier like paddle out to me.
Sorry about your pain. I'm glad that you found another pleasure, and I hope you get to enjoy the water. And thanks for what you're doing with pickleball.
Yay. Thank you, Rich.